With Crimson Blaze coming, and that's right, we got 3 new Megas of Cantonio starter trios, so what better way to be excited for it than by some theory crafting where we have 9 full deck lists of the cards that we do know and the cards that we have already to really just go ahead and start playing on that day 1. Let me know if you have any other creative builds, and so without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump right on in to our first one. Here we got Mega Charizard Y EX here. So we're pairing this one up with Entei EX. Now the beautiful part about Entei EX here is that its Legendary Pulse allows you to draw cards. So what do you do when you draw cards? You get to pull the full line, right? So we're looking at 2/2/2 with Charizard Y because you get your Charmeleon, and this Charmeleon is bringing back like levels of having that stage 1 that feels really good, right? Magneton feels amazing, and now we're getting another stage 1 where it feels really good. I even like shout out to Kakuna for some Beedrill because it can paralyze, but this Charmeleon with its ability Ignition, allowing you to generate a fire energy from the energy zone to your active fire Pokemon, means that Entei is now in play to be able to do Blazing Beatdown basically for free. You attach 2 energy, you start dealing 60. Because you're drawing cards, you're getting your pieces. You're building up 2 Charizard Ys at in your backline here. And then you can start attaching energy to one of them, but the reason why you're building up 2 is that you have 2 free energy to give to your Entei EX here, which is lovely, and that's an extra 2 additional energy that you need in order to start attacking for 120. So a very cute combo here, which is very doable because you're thinning out your deck quickly through Entei's Legendary Pulse. You get to sort through with Copycat, you get to grab the Charizard Y out from your deck, thinning it with the Mega Charizard Y, and you're gonna notice a trend here that Serena is just a great searcher. We're only playing 1 Mega in a lot of these decks anyways, so why not just like use it to grab it, thin out your deck so that we can go from it there. So that is the name of the game. Draw cards, attack with your Blazing Beatdown, and then finish things off with Mega Charizard Y to really just one-shot the game. Our second Charizard deck goes to, old and reliable Moltres EX here, and I really do like this flow of how this works, is because what we want to do is again build up that energy with the Inferno Dance, lead it up to your Charmander. But you can evolve into Charmeleon to then provide your Moltres EX with an additional energy. So if you're already all set with Mega Charizard Y, you can start attacking with Heat Blast, or you can just continue to build up that energy on the back end for whatever you need. We have the baby non-EX Charizard to deal with any Oricorios in this version of this style of the deck, but then our supporter cards still go with a red and with the Copycat here to really sort through these. You're probably wondering why this deck and the previous deck have red and our third Charizard deck will have red, is because if there are any shenanigans with Heavy Helmet or any shenanigans with like blue from our other Mega counterparts, Venusaur and Mega Blastoise, you actually get away with still KOing them when you have the red. So going against those other Megas, those new ones, you're going to see that more often, but you get the upper hand here because nothing survives 270, which is crazy that like this Charizard can get there. But Moltres EX with Charizard is always a time and true thing. We've seen it with Genetic Apex, we've seen it with Stokestar, and now we're going to be able to see that once again with Charizard Y. And then this one here is a little bit more spicy. So essentially you are just leaning really to just kind of attack anywhere else here, right? Magby is to generate energy for you. You can you have your Charmeleons in here. There might be a world where we can like take these out for rare candies to lessen up the your Pokemon that you need to draw. However, a Tongue Whip to an Oricorio into an attack from a Charmeleon also takes care of those Oricorios for you pretty nicely, so I do like having them both in here. So the Magby powers up your Charmander, but it also powers up your Mew EX. And the reason why Mew EX is in here is for your mirror, but quite frankly, you can use it for really any of these matchups here, because you get to use this 250 for free for 3 energy. So once they clear out your active spot, you can then retaliate and win the game essentially, because your Mew is only worth 2 points, whereas their Mega Charizard is worth 3. So that's really helpful there. So the Cyrus is here to really like help you out with your heat more, so nothing is really safe to get away from this 250. The hope is that you snipe one of their megas that they're playing and then really just take things out from there. And because we're running more Pokemon, Copycat feels really good to ensure that we're getting to our pieces. So those are 3 Charizard Y decks by all means at this point. Let me know what you think and drop some fun other combinations that you have. I had a viewer who shared that they might run 1 Araquanid line and 1 Lana line so no one can hide, and I was like, you're cooking. I like that a lot. So let me know what else you're thinking about for this one. And as we do, we're going to go into Mega Blastoise. So here, we're just gonna like up the ante when it comes to ramp. So one ramp option that we have here is that we're gonna go into Jellicent, and we're not gonna play any Misties or any Mantiques here. We're just gonna focus on these 2 Mons. Rare Candy here is pretty nice because Jellicent doesn't care if your bench is basic or not, so you can just evolve up to ensure that you are taking hits. You don't want your Squirtle to go away, like this is your winner here. And so having a heavy helmet, having 2 lilies to ensure that we can continue to be that wall, being that tank there is going to be huge. And then Jellicent, you don't mind if both of these Jellicents go down. You don't mind giving the energy here to chip away at opponents to go down, because when they retreat, they're going to get hit for that 50 regardless. 130 for 3 isn't bad. It's the 6 energy that we really want to get to, but oftentimes 130 can do enough if you are chipping away at your opponent with this to then finish them off with 50 in the back as well too. So you have 2 lines here. You can go all in on the 6 energy, but being able to attack with your Jellicent while taking damage means you get to power up your Mega Blastoise, and the back is awesome. So that's I like to see that here for this style of deck. Then when we move here, now we're trying to spread it out a little bit here, right? So we have Mantike, we have Manaphy, we have Double Misty. So we're trying to engage more in this ramp, letting our basics kind of like go down, so we have at least 1 Mega Blastoise online by the time that we're ready to go here. So SQ has been really cool to see as like it has emerged, because it is weak to steel, not to electric. They're really taking advantage of this ice typing and having it be weak to steel. So that means Oricorio only does 10 damage to itself, to you, so you get to attack it for 50, and then when they attack, they only attack you for 50. You go down to 20, and then you get to knock it out. So you do have an Oricorio answer here, especially with that Ice Face ability, which takes -40 when your HP is full, which is awesome. And then you essentially just use your Manaphy and your Mantike to power these up. Either power up your SQ or power up your Squirtles in the back here. I am gonna put double War Turtle here just because I still just want bulk on the bench. Let me know what you think, if these could be rare candies instead, but I like the idea of, one, being hopeful that our stage 1 War Turtles have an evolution, and if they do, this is kind of where I would slot them. But 2, in case they Sabrina us or whatever the case may be, we can survive a hit. You know, 80 HP is no joke. And that way we stay alive a little bit longer. We can always retreat out and do all the things that are necessary. So here is my take at this as well. Looking forward to playing Mega Blastoise. And then our final deck for this water starter is like all in. We're just full gambage here. We're running 4 basics. It is your Mantike, it's your Squirtles. We're powering these things up. We have the baby non-EX Blastoise here. But what I will want to say though is that, and I should have mentioned this with Charizard here as well too, is that we've gotten baby versions of the megas so far, right? And they do their same counterparts. So Mega Altaria, its non-EX version does like 20 and it attacks for less. And then Blaziken doesn't do like the full 140, it does like the same 2 for that. So you still get a similar effect. So this could be like 3 energy or 2 energy, you do 80, and then once you get to like 5, you can deal like 40 in the back or something like that. But either way, I think it's something that we'll still be able to knock out an Oricorio. If not, this Blastoise here still does that with no issues. So that's great. And then we're just, again, literally all in. We're double Misty, double Mantike, trying to power this up, trying to get to that 6 so that way you just don't have to worry about anything else. Lily it up once you need to, Cyrus, and then you can go from there. So this is like all in, and then you kind of have like your medium all in, and then you kind of have like your slower lane, but each of one of them still finds ways to build up that water energy to Mega Blastoise, so that way you can get that extra 6 energy to deal that more massive damage there. Now we move on to our Venusaur, which like, there are fun ways to like think through this here. So I'm gonna show one which is kind of like, I think there's just so many different ways that you can go with Mega Venusaur. And before we do, let me know what you felt about Mega Blastoise. Let me know deck lists that you're thinking about, combos that you're thinking about as well too in the comment section. So here is a spicy combo in which we take advantage of this double colorless energy here. So having Pichu and this being a grass only deck means that we can run an Oricorio to stop those other Megas from doing things, which is really nice. Because then you can attack and still build this as a wall, or use your Pichu to build up your Bulbasaur, so that way Pichu goes, attaches, you attach the grass, Pichu goes, now you just need a second grass, you can like move up. We could grow extract onto the Bulbasaur, so that way you get to Ivysaur and Mega Venusaur up, and then you're fine. These not only evolve your Pokemon, but also thin out your deck since it's searching through the deck for the evolution, which is awesome. So I like that take a lot here, because then we can get to these other cards faster, and we're just all about being sustained up there. Now that we have 120, now they're asleep, now they're being poisoned, it's going to be very hard for them to take out. We've run the double leaf cape to push us up to 270, which is a lot of health here. So we're trying to get to Mega Venusaur really quickly, but if we can't, having Oricorio for a wall here is going to be really nice as we build up in the back and getting our pieces. Now we shift to 310. We shift up to the massive wall, the great wall of Mega Venusaur. Why is that the case? Because we get to use Quick Draw Extract on our Patels to get those Ligans up to boost our Mega Venusaur up HP up by 20 HP. So we go 240 to 260 to 280 to 310, and then you just attack from there, having that Lily and Erica to then just continue to heal up here. We split the two just to ensure that like if we need to heal a Lilligant, we can do that, but that extra 10 to the Mega Venusaur also does really well. So this is really just all about getting that HP up there, being that immortal tank, being that high wall that they just can't get through, and just getting frustrated on the fact that like they can't win, because no matter what they do, you're still around. So that's nice. And in this version of Mega Venusaur, you actually don't get one shot by Mega Charizard. Why? And if you can get them to sleep, you actually, so you take the hit, you go down to 40 HP, you then hit them for 120 with a 10, they go from 220 down to 100. If they're asleep, you win that following turn. So this might be one of the more premier ones to run, because you actually get to outlive a Mega Charizard hit, and even if they hit you with a red that is 290, the only thing that you don't want them to have is a Guzma, but if they do that, they can't red you at the same time. So if Mega Charizard starts running Klefki for that reason, that could be kind of crazy, but we're not going to get there just quite yet. Then from here, good old Leafeon, powering up your Mega Venusaur EX here, just running lines, boosted evolution. You can attack with the Leafeon EX here, then you can then go into your Mega Venusaur EX and then power up and attack from there. We have our Repel here, just to annoy any Oricorios that may be there, and then you can Cyrus up anything else that you would then attack and potentially put to sleep so that they can't retreat, and go from there. So this could be really fun. In terms of quickness in here, we can probably slot in one more Pokemon if we were really too afraid of Oricorios around there, but like I really do like how this is built here. And then I know this is 4 and the other one's only got 3, but I thought this was fun. we just go all in on the poison style, right? So we got poison barbed here, we have the lily, we have the copycat, we have the quick row extract to like thin out the deck to really build up. And ideally is, and also I don't know how this is going to work because we have a Venusaur EX and then we have a Mega Venusaur EX, and please let me know if they still count as the same Pokemon, because I feel like they shouldn't, because one's the Mega Evolution and the other one's not, so you could maybe run 2 in 1, I don't know. But we run the Venusaur EX to then heal and then continue to heal, continue wear down your opponent with the poison barb here, the Nihilego stacks, and then this stays alive because you're healing, you got the lily and you got the cape, and then you go into your Mega Venusaur EX, which then continues to poison on command from there. So that's what I like. I like using your first Bulbasaur to build up to this Venusaur EX to then tank and then attack, and then you can slowly build up here. Now that's a lot of turns in terms of energy, that's like 8 across, but you are allowed to play a slower game because of the amount of HP that you have, the amount of HP that your opponent has to get through. So I like it. I like it. Between these two, that is 190 plus 240 plus 30. So that gives you to 220. That's 460 HP that your opponent needs to get rid of. Dang. So let me know, what do you all think of the decks as we go through them? What are some other things that you are already thinking about and starting to cook y'all selves? I know that you are itching, probably just as much as I am, to get your hand on these cards so we can start playing them. And as always, if you enjoy the vibes of this channel, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, click the notification bell button so you have a thing. All right, y'all, catch y'all on the next one. Peace.